Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Floss, back again with another video. And today we're going to do a quick unboxing of the Google Pixel 10 Pro Fold. And I'm going to give y'all my final opinions on the Pixel 10 Pro XL. Alright, so let's get right into it. First things first, shout out to White Shoes, back in the building.
I love my white shoes. I love my white shoes. I love my white shoes.
Calm down. Okay, so let's start off with the Pixel 10 Pro Fold. Now this one comes in at $1,800, starting price. All right, so let's unbox it and then we'll go through the specs. Now, of course, I went with the jade color to match my 10 Pro XL. As far as the presentation, let's see what we got here. Nice jade color box, okay. I like that, why not? Let's see. Okay, a little sleeve right here. Okay, here it is. Pixel 10 Pro Fold. Now inside, this is gonna be a device. Let's see, Woo, okay. Let's get the first official fold. Real nice, okay. Okay, hit the power button. Power button, let's see, power button on the bottom, of course, or is it? Now look, I'm laughing real quick. I don't know, it's on the top. All right, check this out. Is this phone dead on arrival? Okay, is this phone dead on arrival? Let's find out. We got some juice. Let's see what else you get. Now this is gonna be your usual books and shit, plug them and file them, SIM ejection tool, okay, and your USB Type-C to USB Type-C charging cable. That's pretty much it. Let's re-sleeve it, okay? And then we'll talk about this. Okay, let it power up. All right. Now, before we get to the specs, let's answer an important question. Is this phone actually dead on arrival? Now, if you like Google phones, you're gonna love this, okay? But honestly, for $1,800, I know I'm getting ready to get shadow banned again for saying this. If it was me, man, I would spend that extra couple of bucks and get the Galaxy Z Fold 7. Once you use the Galaxy Z Fold 7, all of these other folds, and I mean all of them, I got a lot of them, all of these other folds are gonna feel inferior. Once you use the Galaxy, look how thin and lightweight this is. I mean, hold up. The amount of customization on this, the fun factor on this, it's just hard to compare any other fold that's coming out right now. But I'm gonna go into this with a completely open mind. So like I said, this one comes in two different colors. You got jade and moonstone. Okay, this is the moonstone color right here. Now for the, let's open this up. Okay, for the main display, you got an 8-inch LTPO AMOLED panel with a resolution of 2076 by 2152. Now that's 374 for the PPI Patrol. You got HDR10 plus, up to 3000 nits brightness, and a 120 Hz refresh rate. Now for your cover display, this one's gonna be 6.4 inches OLED panel with a resolution of 1080 by 2364. Now you got 3000 nits brightness and a 120 Hz refresh rate. I shoes back up a little bit, please. People want to see the phone. Now, the phone is IP68, dust and water resistant, okay? And you got Gorilla Glass Victus 2 for protection. Now, for the processor, you got the Google Tensor G5 with the Power VR GPU. Now, what does that mean in English? Flagship specs, bro. Flagship specs. Not Snapdragon 8 Elite Generation 5 specs, but flagship specs nonetheless. Now, it's running Android 16 with Google OS, the actual Google skin on top, and you're gonna get 7 years of updates and security patches. Now, you got 16 gigs of RAM, 256, 512, or 1 terabyte of storage, no micro SD card slot for expandable memory. Now, you got a 5015 mAh battery that features 30 watt fast charge, 15 watt wireless charge, and you got Pixel Snap. So let's just make sure that works. Let's see, we got a magnet on the back. There it is. So you got your Pixel Snap, also known as MagSafe, okay? But you got your magnet built into the back of the phone. Now, for the cameras, on the rear, you got a triple setup. So you got a 48 megapixel wide angle, 10.8 megapixel telephoto, and a 10.5 megapixel ultra wide angle lens. Now you can shoot 4K video at 60 frames per second. Now you got two cameras on the front. One right here, this is gonna be 10 megapixels, and one on the inside. both 10 megapixels, and you can shoot 4K video at 60 frames per second. Now, of course, you got Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, NFC, always on display, face unlock. You got a side-mounted fingerprint sensor. Okay, you got satellite SOS features. Okay, circular search, and of course, Google Gemini, my favorite AI. All right, so all of that for $1,800. Now, I had last year's version, and I think these are going to be pretty much similar. Basically, I love this fold, okay? Basically, I love it. But like I said, once you use the Galaxy Fold, it's going to be hard to use anything else. But let's just look around real quick. Now, this video is really going to be about my 10 Pro, But I just want y'all to see this one, and then we'll do a review on this one later. Okay, so on one side, it's going to be a power button, volume rocker. Okay, there's your cameras on the rear. Google logo. Okay, freeze. All right, Google logo. Speaker grill on the top, speaker grill on the bottom, USB Type-C charging. Okay, there's your inner display, outer display. Okay, now let's see. Did they fix the front? You see, the front you see on the side right here, the bezel is a little bit smaller because this one did have a weird kind of bezel. You see, all that extra could have been display. So they actually shrunk it down a little bit, you see, but you still got the big giant bezel. All right, so I'm going to put all my information in this, and then we'll walk through the OS and some of the basic features at the end of this video. Okay. In the meantime, let's take it over to the Pixel 10 Pro XL. Now, I got to be honest with y'all. This phone right here, this phone grew on me so much. Let me give y'all my new top 5 Android phone ranking. All right, so here's my updated list of my top 5 Android phones. Now keep in mind, we're not talking about foldable devices, and we're not talking about iPhones. Only Android phones. Number 1 on my list, I think y'all already know, the Galaxy S25 Ultra 5 Gangsta Alpha Omega Supreme, aka Unicron. This is still pound for pound the best phone out for me. So this is number 1. Number 2 on my list, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, the Pixel. The Pixel went from number 5 to number 2. And I'm going to show you why in a minute. I literally love this phone. This went from being just my work phone to being my secondary phone that I carry around. Okay, so not just for work, for play also. So this is number 2 on my list. Number 3 on my list, I'm going with the Vivo X200 Ultra. Easily the best camera phone out right now. If you want to take some great shots, matter of fact, let's go ahead and open this up real quick. Bro, look at the food shot from the other day. If you want to take some photos, this is your phone right here. Okay, so number 1, 2, 3. Number 4, I'm going to go Oppo Find X8 Ultra. Okay, another heavyweight right here. Amazing camera. Okay, that'll be number 4. And number 5, I'm going to go Xiaomi. Okay, Xiaomi 15 Ultra. Look at those notifications. This is how I want my notifications to look. Okay, not to mention the camera and the camera kit. Amazing. Okay, these are my top 5 Android phones. Then after that, we got some honorable mentions. Of course, you got to go Asus ROG 9 Pro. Easily one of my favorites with the back and all of the animations. Then you got the Honor. Okay, the Porsche edition. I love this color right here. And of course, OnePlus 13. Okay, so these are my honorable mentions. Oh, and one more. Y'all seen this from yesterday, the secondary display. Now, this phone right here, I gotta make another video about this. Let me wipe it down real quick. The secondary display, I told you, it's a lot of fun and all that, but after using it, I wouldn't say gimmicky, because one of the best features about it is this. Being able to take photos and videos right from the back of your phone, come on, you can't beat that. Even if that's all you could do, that wouldn't be a gimmick. Now, I mention that because a lot of people was like, oh, this is so gimmicky, so gimmicky. Even if it was just a clock, okay? Even if it was just a clock, think about it like this. All of the back of these phones are plain. You got empty space on the back of these phones. Why not put something there? Put a clock. You got a clock right there. But not just a clock, the viewfinder. Okay, so now when you want to make your videos, you can make your videos just like this using your best cameras. However, this is the Chinese version. Somebody asked me, am I having issues with the notifications? Yes. Okay, yes. Now, this Xiaomi right here, this is a global version. The Chinese versions, you always get problems with the notifications. And for me, that kind of kills the whole experience of the phone. Now, I'm loving this phone and all of that, but without the notifications coming in like the way they're supposed to come in, that kills my whole vibe. Okay, so these are my top 5 Android phones. Let's get these out the way. Now, let me start off by answering a quick question. You got a Google Pixel 9 Pro XL? Should you upgrade and get the 10 Pro XL? Let's do it like this. This is the 9, this is the 10. I would say no. Okay, I would say don't upgrade. If you got the 9, the 10 is going to be un poquito. I'm working on my Spanish. It's going to be a poquito upgrade. Very small. But here's the differences that I noticed in my real life testing. With the 9 Pro XL, you got 3000 nits brightness. Now keep in mind, I don't know what kind of sorcery Google is putting in their phones, okay? You got phones on the market that claim to have 5000 nits brightness. But the Pixel phones, these phones have the superior brightness. I mean, the brightness on these phones is insane. I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story too when I get to the Pro. All right, the brightness is just crazy. But you went from 3000 nits brightness to 3300 nits brightness. Now this is even brighter, okay, even brighter. This is the 9 and the 10. So you notice you're gonna get a little bit of brighter display. Next, you got the Tensor G4 versus the Tensor G5. Now, a lot of people had issues with the Tensor G4, especially hardcore gamers, but casual users, even power users who don't game, you're not really going to complain too much about this. However, the Tensor G5, it does feel a little bit faster and zippier and smoother. Okay, now, and that's saying a lot because the 9 Pro is super smooth. It just feels a little bit better. Okay, it feels a little bit better. Next, with the battery, with the 9, you got a 5060 milliamp battery. Now you got 5200 milliamps. Plus you got 45 watt fast charge versus 37. Okay, so slightly bigger battery, slightly faster charging speeds, and of course, you got the Pixel Snap. So you got built-in MagSafe. Now, is that a big deal? No, because most of these cases, you could get MagSafe. Okay, and I'll leave this case right here because if you get a Pixel, this is the case you want. You want this mouse case? Trust me, it changes the feel of the phone. But here's my biggest thing that I noticed, and the thing that made me fall in love with this phone, the biometrics. Ladies and gentlemen, the Pixel has went back to, y'all remember, now I'm showing my age right here, but if y'all had the Pixel 4, y'all remember the face unlock on the Pixel 4? It rivaled the iPhone. To me, I thought it was better than the iPhone at that time. And then for some reason, the Pixel phones, the biometrics started going downhill. Ladies and gentlemen, now y'all remember my Pixel 8 video? I was shitting on Pixel because of the biometrics was making the phone unusable for me. Now we got actual biometrics. Look at the fingerprint sensor. Hold up, I want to make sure I do that right. Look at this. The fingerprint sensor, one quick tap, like you could just tap it like this, like bang. The fingerprint sensor, and watch this. You see the face unlock? The face unlocks works flawlessly now, daytime or nighttime. So that to me, and that's one of the things, I'm very petty, little things like animations and not getting my always on display notifications on time, face unlock being finicky, little things like that will make me not want to use a phone. But now that the biometrics are on par with everything, let me say that correctly, are on par with everything else, this phone right here is a certified beast. Now, of course, there's a few things that I don't like. So let's talk about those real quick. Number one, the price. All right, $1,200 on this. I'm not really complaining about the price. The thing that I don't like is this, okay? I don't like these presentations, man. And look, man, some of y'all gonna say, oh, why are you always complaining about that? Bro, because I'm spending a lot of money on these phones, okay? So I have the right to complain. Okay, now if I'm getting these shits for free, shut the F up and enjoy your free phone. But no, I'm buying these. So I have the right to complain, especially when you drop $1,200 and all you get is a cable. And then you go, you buy a Xiaomi phone. Y'all seen this yesterday. You open this up, you get a case, Okay, you get a charging brick, and not just a regular charging brick, a 100 watt. Now somebody said, "Oh, just use your old charging brick." How many people got just 100-watt charging bricks laying around? You stop it. Okay, stop it. You don't got 100-watt charging bricks just laying around all over your house. No. And if you do got a 100-watt charging brick, you're never throwing this away. Okay, you want more of these. Not to mention inside. Look at this. Inside the box, you get a case. You get an actual case for $1,000. So why am I spending more and getting less? I don't like that. Okay, when I spend my money, I like to get more. Okay, so the price, $1,000, actually $1,200. Give us a little bit more than this. Next, 45-watt fast charge. Now, that's better than last year, but it still takes around an hour to fully charge up your phone. You got these phones coming out right now with 100-watt fast charging. Okay, 0 to 100%, 25 minutes, and this is a 7,500 milliamp battery. Okay, y'all remember I could pull out other phones that have 100-watt charging, even 120-watt fast charge, that charge up in 19 minutes. Y'all seen the Realme phones? Realme phones charging up in 12 minutes? Come on, bro. 1 hour to charge up a phone? Nah, I'm not really feeling that too much. Next, now, again, let me just grab a couple of props real quick so y'all can see this. Grab a couple of phones. I'm just going to grab whatever's right here. Grab whatever's right here. Look at the sides of these phones, right? Now, these are just all these phones I just randomly grabbed. You notice one thing about the sides of all of these phones? The power button. The power button is on the bottom. I would say 99.9% of the phones that I own, the power button is on the bottom. The Google, the power button is on the top. Now, is that a huge deal? Not really. But if you 2 phones Nelson, okay, 3 phones O'Reilly, 4 phones Flanagan, okay, if you carry more than one phone in your pocket, you're going to constantly be going like this. You're going to constantly be turning your volume down. Okay, you're going to constantly be hitting the wrong button. They should at least put a different texture on the button. Okay, you see how like this button is red? Okay, this button right here has, you see on the Xiaomi, I don't know if y'all can see that, but that button has a little bit of texture to it, a little drop test. That button has a little texture to it, so this way you could feel which one is which. They need to add a little texture to the button, or just be like everybody else and put the button on the bottom, okay? Now, once you get used to it, okay, it's cool. Y'all see the face unlock? Once you get used to it, I know it seems like I'm making a big deal about that, but if you watch my last video on the Pixel phones, that was my biggest gripe, the face unlock. Okay, so anyway, I don't like the power button on the top. Always on display. Now, let me grab another phone real quick. Always on display. Now, shout out to Google. Now, at least you could put your picture. You see how you have the always on display picture now? Let me just go ahead and wipe this down so y'all can see it better. You see how I got shoes? Now, that face unlock is so good now. You see I got shoes in the background now? So now you can actually have your wallpaper stay on like that. That's pretty dope. But, all right, hold on 1 second. All right, my bad, y'all. That was a Maya getting ready to catch her flight. Where was we? Always on display. Look at the difference in the always on displays. Now, this is the Pixel. You see? There's my notifications. The notifications don't come in colorful. Some of them do. If you get a text message, it'll show the actual person. The weather comes in colorful. You see on the top. But that's pretty much it. This is how I want my always on display notifications to look. Now, watch this. Look at this. The actual icon. Look how beautiful that looks. So from far away, I can clearly see that I got Instagram, Facebook, Gmail, got a missed phone call. Same thing with the Oppo phones. Look at the always on display. Look at the notifications. From far away, I can see I got a YouTube, I got a Facebook. I like the notifications to look like that. Okay, so I would like to see some more colorful, notifications. And I would like to see some more customization. That's always my biggest gripe with Pixel phones. They're very solid, very clean, but lack of customization. You see how you got the Google bar on the bottom? I would like to change that, put it on the top. Okay, we always got to have the now bar on the top. No, not the now bar. I'm so used to Galaxy phones. I forgot what Google calls it, but your information bar on the top. Okay, just gonna update this real quick. Okay, 59 degrees, beautiful day out here. I would like to see some more customization, and of course, I would like to see some more cool features. Now, the thermometer, I thought it was kind of gimmicky. Now, if y'all want to talk about gimmicks, okay, y'all want to talk about gimmicks, this shit ain't a gimmick. A display on the back of your phone, when you chilling, you could just go like this and see your clocks. You getting a phone call, you got your phone on silent, you can see the phone call coming in. You can use your camera. Okay, you can use the cameras from your main phone with an actual viewfinder. How can anybody in their right mind call this a gimmick? Hold up. How can anybody in their right mind call this a gimmick where you could be making videos just like this using your rear camera? How could you call that a gimmick? This is kind of gimmicky, the thermometer, even though I used it a couple of times. You know, when I'm doing some throttling tests, I use it a couple of times to check the temperature. You know, object temperature, you know. We'll do object temperature. You see, this phone is nice and cool right here, you know. Let's see my skin. Okay. I mean, you know, of course you got different. You could do body temperature. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of gimmicky. You know, I miss some of the classic Pixel features like the squeeze. I remember squeeze your phone. That would be more useful than a thermometer. You know, I used to have mine set up where I just squeeze my phone and take me straight to camera. That was great because you got your phone in your hand anyway. Some shit jump off, squeeze your phone, go right to your camera, and you're right there. Now, of course, you could just press the camera button. I'm saying go to your camera. It's that easy. But, you know, I would like to see some more features. Okay, but other than that, I literally love this phone. First, let's talk about the build quality. The build quality in this phone, to me, now, this phone feels so similar to an iPhone 16 Pro Max. And that when I'm doing my iPhone video next, this is one of the things that Apple effed up with. Okay, but they effed up by going to aluminum because the aluminum, it doesn't feel as premium. Now, I know we're going to talk about Scratchgate and all that. I'll save all of that. But the aluminum doesn't feel as premium. I'm going to show y'all the test that I did. Well, I'm not going to show y'all. I'll tell y'all. With my iPhone 16 Pro Max and this. Now, the iPhone 16 Pro Max, I love the way that one felt. This phone right here. So I use my girl and I use my daughter. Okay, those are two hardcore Apple fangirls that, you know, ride or die Apple Mafia. So I gave her Maya this phone. I gave her this phone and the 16 Pro Max. I said, you know, what do you think about this? She was like, yo, is Google allowed to do that? I'm like, what you mean? She was like, are they allowed to just jack Apple like that? Like damn, yo, like, she was like, this is an iPhone. She's like, this is an Android iPhone. Now, to somebody who hates Android phones, that's kind of a diss. But if you like Android phones, that is a compliment. Then I'm on vacation with my girl, and now we playing around. We had a few drinks, you know what I'm saying? So I said, I want you to do a blindfold test. So blindfold it, and then I'm like, all right, which phone is which? So she's holding the iPhone 16 Pro Max and this, and she's like, and she knows iPhones. The first time she got it right, she was like, okay, this is the iPhone, this is the Pixel. I was like, cool. Then I did it again. The second time she was like, okay, this is the iPhone. And this the Pixel. No, she thought this was the iPhone. I said all that to say this. The build quality. If you like the build quality of the iPhone 16 with the titanium on the sides, you're going to like this. Now, it just has that feel of premiumness to it. Premiumness, is that a word? I don't know. Premiumness, it has a premium feel. Not to mention the visor on the back. I love this back visor. Now, I got another prop right here. I love the visor on the back. You know, and shout out to Apple. They tried it. But they failed. They tried it, but this is a fail right here. The way this one looks on the back, come on, bro. This big ass visor with all that space in the middle. If you're gonna have a big visor, you need triple cameras, LED flash. All right, you know, this is how you do it. This shit right. Now I'm doing another video on this phone because I know I lost a lot of friends behind this phone. I'm taking a lot of heat online. I'm getting killed on Reddit behind this shit. But I'm doubling down. Fuck this phone. Okay, sorry. Hey, yo, you know how many people ask to buy this phone from me? I'm not even selling it. I'm just keeping it for trolling purposes now. Now I'm keeping it for trolling purposes, all right? Anyway, build quality, amazing. Not to mention, now you got the Pixel Snap. Is that a huge deal? Is this the biggest deal in the world for the Pixel Snap? Hold up. I just finished cutting my nails. Hold up. Let me see if I can get this. This one right here, this is kind of hard to open. I got it now. Pixel Snap. So now you can start using all of these accessories like this. I can start using you see the face unlock? I can start using all my accessories without using the case. Speaking of case, Now, this is not a sponsored video. I already did a whole bunch of Pixel case videos, but just from using this phone the most, the mouse case on this Pixel just feels the best to me. But this is the kind of phone that I only put cases on my phones when I go outside. You're going to want to feel this. You're going to want to feel this quality. Okay, so the build quality is excellent. Next, biometrics. Let me watch this. You see biometrics, I know it seems like I'm making a big deal about this, but when you're used to having a Pixel phone that has excellent biometrics like the 4, the 3, and then the last couple of Pixel phones, the face unlock was shit, now to have it back working again, it's such a huge deal. Not to mention, the fingerprint sensor works even better. These are the best biometrics that I've seen from Google in the last couple of years. Okay, swipe down, all your quick toggles, everything. It's going to be a quick review. Let's just check the web browsing speeds and all that good stuff. Go to apple.com. Bro, first of all, and the Google animations, I'm going to say it again. This is the iPhone of Android phones. Now, if you're the type of person that you always wanted to try an Android phone, and keep in mind, everything that I'm saying about this phone goes for the Pixel 10 Pro also, not just the XL, same thing. Everything goes for this phone also. This is the same exact phone, just smaller. If you're the type of person that you had iPhones for the last 7 years, and now you decide you want to try an Android phone, okay? You don't want to run out and get a Xiaomi phone, get an Oppo, get a Realme. You want to get a Pixel. If you want that same experience, and one of the things that I like about Pixel phones, is the same thing that people like about iPhones. They're super intuitive. They're easy to use. The operating system just looks smooth and clean. It's not a whole bunch of hidden menus. When you go to your settings, everything is broken down right into place. When you go to display, everything is right there. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. You don't have to be a supreme Android nerd to pick up this phone and master it in a couple of days. As a matter of fact, one more quick side note. After going on vacation with my girl and letting her play with this phone and showing her how everything works on it, I finally converted. I converted a hardcore let me say that right. I converted a hardcore Apple phone user into an Android user. Now, don't get me wrong. She's two phones Nelson. She always just had two iPhones. But now she got an iPhone and she said, I'm getting the Pixel. She ordered the Pixel. That shows you how good this is. Okay, if you could convert an Apple Mafia Hitman member, I brought it to the dark side. Brought it to the dark side of Android. And look at the camera real quick. Look at the camera. Look at the point and shoot camera. Bro, look at the point and shoot camera. This phone right here, I'm not going to spend all day on this shit. It's just a super clean, smooth phone. Okay, so you're seeing the web browsing speeds. Of course, you got something that iPhones don't have. You can do this. Now, believe it or not, in this day and age, you still can't do split screen multitasking on an iPhone. You can't even do that on an iPhone. Okay, so now I can be checking the weather and checking Facebook at the same time, or I can swap. Now, a lot of people say, what good is split screen multitasking? What good is that? It's good for me, especially if you buy a lot of stuff on eBay. I'll be on eBay, Amazon at the same time. I'll be doing other stuff, watching my eBay bids. Okay, just doing two for the price of one. Okay, now, even if you never use that, one of these days you'll end up using it and it'll be worth it for you. Okay, so you got your split screen multitasking. You still can't do that on an iPhone, which brings me to another point. A lot of people are like, oh man, this phone copied iPhone. This phone is a copy of an iPhone. How? Just because of the name? Just because of the name, this is not a copy of an iPhone. iPhones don't have IR blasters. They don't have secondary displays. They don't have fingerprint sensors. Okay, they don't have split screen multitasking. I can name 30 features that iPhone doesn't have. Okay, yeah, they copied the name. I'm going to give you that. They definitely copied the name, but even the look, you can't just say they copied the look. How many phones got square backs? You copied the look. It's not just copying the look. You got a display, bro. I digress. Anyway, let's get back to this Pixel. Look how smooth this is. Everything just works good. Now, one of my favorite features on Pixel phones is this. Watch this. Call me back tomorrow. Send. being able to say the word send. Now, I know that might not seem like a big deal. Oh, I got a message. Being able to say the word send and just send your message. When I'm gaming, when I'm gaming and I'm in the zone, I got my controller right here. I got my picture like this on the stand. When I get messages, I just use Google and I just talk to the phone and send messages back and forth and just say the word send. You can't beat that. Okay, let's check the. Now again, like I said, this is going to be a quick review. I'm not going to go through everything. Let's go to. I'll show you how the display and the speakers. We could do that at the same time. Hold on, let me see something real quick. Let's see. Okay, all right, choose back up some. Okay, we could check the display and the speakers at the same time. You hear how loud these speakers are? Beautiful display. Let's go back. Let's get to my favorite part of this video. Look at this. You hear those speakers? Nice and loud. Dual stereo speakers. Look at that. Excellent viewing angles. Not to mention, I said it before, I'm going to say it again. The brightness on this phone is just going to blow you away. And there's another quick story I wanted to tell y'all too. I'm on vacation, right? So me and my girl, we like to stay up late, we drinking, partying and all that. So now we fall asleep at like 3 a.m. So she kind of dozed off. So I'm like, let me check my socials, you know what I'm saying? So I pull out the Pixel, I'm checking my socials. So she wake up right next to me like, damn, bro, like turn that spotlight off. Yo, when it's dark, this display will light up the whole room. She was like, damn, yo, you the feds, yo? I thought I was getting pinched. Yo, if you wake up next to somebody and they got this Pixel phone in their hand, you're going to think you're getting pinched, yo. Trust me, yo. It's crazy, yo. Anyway, so you heard the speakers. You seen the display. Let's see. All right, let's test a little gaming. All right, so let's try a little Asphalt Unite. Here we go. Tensor G5. Now, of course, this is not a hardcore gaming phone, but for your day-to-day gaming, no issues. Hold up, let me get that ramp. Okay, he's trying to be like me. He's trying to be like me. Woo! Get a little drift on. You see how I just missed that? Okay. Speakers, all right? Speakers sounded nice and loud. Gaming, okay? Gaming on your Pixel 10 Pro XL, no issues at all. All right, so let's talk about some of the AI features. Now, there's way too many to talk about in this video. Of course, you can have your calls translated in a different language using your voice, okay? Of course, you got the call holding and all that stuff, but I'll just show you some of the basic stuff that I do. Like, say I want to edit this photo. Okay, so I'll just circle the license plate right there. I want to erase that. And watch this. Watch how fast and smooth this works. Processing the image. And then bang. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. No more license plate. All right, so you got that kind of stuff. Of course, let's go to Google real quick. Okay, now, I like to do stuff like this too. Let's see. For Gemini, I'll just hit the Gemini. Summarize.
The article you linked from ZDNET compares the heart rate monitoring of the Beats Power Beats Pro 2 and Apple's AirPods
Look at
Pro
that.
3. The author highlights the key features of both earbuds to help users decide which one is better for their lifestyle.
This is what I use the most. Just summarizing websites, okay? Summarizing websites. Y'all see how the Galaxy does that too. Summarizing websites, talking to Gemini. And this is one of the reasons the AI is what made my girl say, okay, I need this phone. This actually worked in real life. When you use the Gemini Live. All right, we'll do Gemini Live, right? What is this?
That's a Pixel phone. It looks like you're showing the back of it. Are you having any issues with it?
Now look, I'm not gonna spend too much time because we kind of did that already. But bro, in real life, you can open up your car hood and be like, and talk to Gemini Live like, where do I put the damn oil the oil in this car at? Where do I put the windshield wiper fluid at? And it'll tell you. It will tell you. And the way I used it, I'm down here in my basement, right? So my hot water heater went off. Now I keep a side video on how to restart it, even though I should have it memorized by now, but it goes off every now and then. I just pointed it and said, I Google, how do I restart this? And they gave me a step-by-step direction. That is pretty dope. And, of course, you can do stuff like this. I go to my Instagram real quick. Shit like this. And be like, oh boy. Click on the photo and just be like, who's this?
I am unable to identify the person in the image. However, I can see the Instagram account name is Flossy_Carter, which might be the person's handle or a page dedicated to them.
Now, it's kind of crazy.
I am unable to...
It's kind of crazy because watch this. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Like, sometimes it actually really works. Let's try that again. And it's kind of finicky, but sometimes it works really good. Let's try this one more time. Who's this?
I can't identify the person in the image.
I'll exit out. But trust me, sometimes it really works. I'm going to try that one more time. Hold up. Let's try this one more time. Who's this?
Based on the image you uploaded, this is Flossy Carter. His name is visible on the Instagram post, both in the profile name and in the comments. The photo was posted on January 27th.
I'm telling you, and sometimes it works even better than that. Sometimes it's like, yo, this is Flossy Carter. Didn't give him my government name and birthday, my YouTube stats. Yo, it's crazy. Yeah? Play with Gemini for yourself. Play with Gemini, and this is what you got to do. Like, if you see how I just did a picture, sometimes you got to ask the same question twice or 3 times. Okay, don't when you show an image, don't just get discouraged if you don't get the answer right the first time. Do it a couple of times and then it'll work. Okay, so Gemini, it does work pretty damn good. Yeah, let's see. Let's try one more. Let's see if it knows these iPhones. Hold up, my bad. Okay. What is this?
Okay, I'm ready to help. What can I do? That's an iPhone in an orange case. Is there anything specific you'd like to know about it?
Do you know what model iPhone this is?
Based on the 3 lenses, it's likely an iPhone 11 Pro or Pro Max. Are you looking for any specific information?
All right, well, like I said, it works when it works and it doesn't when it doesn't. But overall, I've been very satisfied with this. I've been very satisfied with the AI. And now let me talk about another thing that I really like. This right here. Let me go to my messages real quick. Okay. Just typing. And this is another thing that reminds me so much of an iPhone. One of the things that I love about iPhones is typing my messages. The way, and it's hard to explain, but every phone has a different feel when you're typing on it. Like a Galaxy, I hate Galaxy keyboards. I always switch to the Gboard app and use the Google keyboard. I hate the Galaxy keyboard. I hate the Xiaomi keyboard. Certain phones just have a different feel when you're typing on them. Anybody who uses multiple phones, you know what I'm talking about. iPhones, I love texting on because they have a great feel. But the Pixel, I think the Pixel has my favorite feel when you're texting. Yo, let's see. Can you? And you see how everything correct? Call me back tomorrow. I could type super fast on this. And you could change the typing styles and all of that. Like I said, again, way too much AI for me to really talk about in one video. Now, let's talk about the camera, okay? The camera. The camera has a lot of features. You could do the add me. Okay, now I haven't had an issue. Let me say that correctly. I haven't had an occasion to use add me yet, but y'all seen videos on add me. Say you and your girl by yourself and you bump into a celebrity, all y'all could be in the same photo. You ain't got to be like, yo, babe, take this picture of me and say I bumped into Nas. Take this photo of me and Nas. You could use add me and you, your girl, and Nas can all be in the same photo. Okay, so add me is pretty dope. Portrait mode. This is one of those point and shoot cameras. Look at that. Point and shoot camera. Like, you ain't got to be playing around with pro mode and all that stuff. No, point and shoot. Now, let me show you one more thing, too. I know somebody's going to say, did this phone pass my zoom test? My zoom test. Watch this. I'm going to show you something real quick. Here's the zoom test. It passes the zoom test. Look how clean that is. Look how clean that is. Now, if you don't know what the zoom test is, I'll show you real quick. This is me. I'm all the way down the block from this school, right? All the way down the block, like almost a block and a half away. Then I zoom in. I try to zoom in on that little sign right there. And there's the sign. Now I take a bunch of different ones, but look at that. No discolorization, nice and clean. And to be fair, I always take a few different ones to see, because sometimes some come out better than others. So I take a few different ones. But look at that. Nice. Oh, she's a little discoloration on that one. But the point is, if you take your time, you could get it right. You see the word Siamese? Beautiful. So it does pass my zoom test. So I want y'all to take a look at these test pictures and videos for yourself. All right, so I'm not going to waste your time doing the RDA test because this video is already kind of long. But as you can see, this phone right here is kind of a beast. Now, I'll just do some basic stuff, like go to Instagram. Here's how your Instagram is going to look. All right, let's see what's going down. The new Mobb Deep album comes out tomorrow. Okay. Calvin, pinch to zoom does work. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Okay, all right. Hands up. What's this? Some new gadgets right here. Now, what is this? A watch? Is that a watch? Hold up. Take it to TikTok. Is that a watch? Oh, that must have been a TikTok ad. All right. Oh, that's a TikTok ad. Oh, of course, it says TikTok. I'm like, what is that? All right. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, hands up. All right, well, you see how your Instagram is going to look. You know what I'm saying? Kind of crazy. You see 120 hertz refresh rate. This phone just has a smooth feel to it. You see all of the animations. Take it over to Facebook. Here's how your Facebook is going to look. Smooth animations. Android 16. So when you get, and one of the best things about this is, when Android 17 comes out, you're going to have it first. Okay? Basically everything works. Just in the camera, go to YouTube, play some music, exit out of that, picture in picture. Okay? And just Gemini. What's up, Gemini?
Hey there. What's going on?
All right, it's about to be Friday night in New York City. I only got about $50. What should I do?
New York City on a Friday night with only $50, huh? That's a classic NYC challenge. We can find something fun to do without breaking the bank. Are you looking for something low-key, or are you hoping for a more wild night out?
I'm looking for a wild night out. I met this chick, you know what I'm saying? So I only got $50 because I'm a brokey, but I met this chick. I got $50. I'm trying to smash. What can I do in New York City for two people with $50?
All right. So you want a wild night out in the city with $50. That's doable. Let's start with some cheap drinks during happy hour.
You know what I'm saying? And trust me when I tell you, if you ever bored, man, look, I get bored. I get lonely too. If you ever bored and lonely, talk to Gemini. And you see how I put my Gemini in the voice of, it sounds like one of my homeboys, right? There's a bunch of different voices to choose from, but my Gemini sounds like if I'm talking to one of my boys. And just have some conversations with Gemini. You're gonna have a good time. All right, anyway, so this, like I said, this right now is my second favorite Android phone. I use it for work and I use it for play. And you've seen the text messaging part. Being able to send emails and text messages and just say the word send, I love that. Okay, I love that. So on a scale of 1 to 10, this is a triple major go right here. Major, major, major go. I love this phone. The biometrics brought me back. Now let's take a quick look at the new Pixel Fold. Okay, here's how it's gonna look. Got all my information set up already. Okay, let's see. Gotta resize my widgets, you know. Let's see the music.
Nah, what's really crazy is
nice loudspeakers. Oh, there's okay. Hold on. Got
really still sleep.
the Gemini button. Hold on, let's see what's
crazy. That's what's crazy. But it's all good though. I'll be your wake-up call.
When I'm with you. That's my song right there. All right, so here's a Google homepage. Let's check the creasage on this. Okay, so let's see how the Facebook is going to look. Now, let's check for the crease. Okay, you can see a little creasage on this, but when you're holding a phone like this, no crease. Now, what y'all think about this bullshit right here? What y'all think about this shit right here? Yo, Samsung, please, all right, Samsung, please do not do this. All right, Samsung, I implore you, please do not do this because I'm going to have to cook. Don't do this. What y'all think about this? As much as I like the orange, no, Samsung, no. Don't do it. All right, but here's how the Facebook is going to look. Okay, ooh. Scratch gate, we got break gate. See, but you got to be careful because, people be wanting clout these days, so people will break their phone just for the clout. You never know. All right, so that's how the Facebook is going to look. Let's see how the Instagram is going to look. Here's how your Instagram is going to look. All right, hands up. All right. From the outside. Okay, look at this. Now, this is the thing I love about foldable devices. You're rocking with one hand. I would say the Pixel does have, the Pixel does have, let's see, does the iPhone have a speaker issue? Every week. You see, now I want to get to the full screen. Bong, here's the full screen. All right. This is the thing I love about foldable devices. Like, you just rock them like this, you chilling until you get something, till you see something that you like, and then you unfold it. All right, so let's see. We scrolling. Got the Nikes. What is this? A new speaker right here? All right. Okay. All right. Hands up. Then you just open this up. Bang! Family show. This is what you love about foldable devices, though. All right. And of course, you do split screen multitasking. Okay, swap them around. You know what I mean? Let's see if bong just like that. The music on this side. Family show moments on this side. You know, this is gonna be a dope phone. This is gonna be a dope phone. I can tell you that. I can tell you that right now. Family show. This is a family show, y'all. This is a family show. Damn, yep. All right, Instagram is crazy. All right, let's see anything else. But anyway, this is just a quick unboxing of this phone. I'm gonna put it to the test. Like I said, I mean. Damn, yo. I don't see it stopping the Galaxy, but let's just try something real quick. Let's take out the scales of justice. Okay, we got the scales of justice right here. Let's see. The Galaxy 217. Okay, 217. The Pixel 259. Do you see what I'm saying? Once you use the Galaxy, as thin and lightweight as this is, it's hard to go back. It's hard to go back to anything else. Now, the Galaxy is a little bit more narrow on the outer display, but they finally made the outer display usable. Okay? Outer display is actually usable now. Bro. All right, let me exit out of that. Okay, so let's try that one more time. Let's just make sure. Okay. 216. Versus 259. This is kind of heavy. Let's see the Xiaomi 230. Okay, my other two favorite folds, the Vivo 230. Yeah, most of these folds are going to be like within the 220, 230 segment. Yeah, 220 right here on the Honor. Look how the Galaxy is just so much lighter, though. The Galaxy just found a way to make this phone so light and usable. Now, I do have the Honor as well, which I think about the Honor. The Honor is another dope foldable phone. Okay. The Honor's pretty dope, too. Okay. The Vivo, Xiaomi, these are all dope folds. But I think I do love the Pixel Fold, though, because I'm going to be using all of the Gemini features and the smooth AI. You know, the Pixel Fold does have a place for me, but I don't know. What y'all think. Look at the brightness. Now, this is last year's version. Last year's version, same brightness. Let me see. Do I even have maximum brightness on this one? I ain't even have maximum brightness, bro. Look at this. Let's go to settings real quick. Not bad, y'all. Go to settings. Let's go to display real quick. Yeah, brightness on 97%. I need 100% bright. Yeah, look at the brightness. Let's see. Equally. Oh, it almost looks brighter. It almost looks brighter, but it could be equal brightness. But look at the side. Look at that side bezel. You see, you can still see the bezel on this side. You can almost not see it. So they did trim the bezel down. That's a welcome addition, especially on the corner. You see that big corner right there? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and wrap this video up. All right. So overall, the scale of 1 to 10, fresh out of the box, I'm giving the Pixel Fold a major go. It's definitely a dope fold. It's just that when you use the Galaxies, everything else is going to be second place. But if you love the Pixel OS and the Pixel features, you're going to love this one. Now, as far as the Pixel 10 Pro XL, this phone is a major go. Like I said, my second favorite Android phone right now. Anyway, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about these. Shout out to everybody rocking with me on Facebook, Foursquare, Twitter, Google+. Shout out to all the Google gangsters. I see y'all holding down that Facebook page. Shout out to everybody hitting me up on Voxer. And a special shout out to everybody rocking with me on Instagram. Y'all know that's where I'm at full time, 100% full throttle. And a special shout out to everybody rocking with the new stream on Sundays. Y'all already know. Streaming gangsters on deck. Get your drinks ready. No meat boys allowed. Oh yeah, special shout out to everybody following me on Snapchat, Flossy_Carter, that's where I'm at. And a special shout out to the notification squad. I see y'all in the comment section early. #salute. Oh yeah, one more thing, I almost forgot. Fellas, ladies, say it with me. All y'all haters, all y'all trolls, close your eyes. Picture me rolling. It's your boy Flossy back. Deuces.
Enterprise. Spock here.
Spock one to beam up.
Affirmative, Captain. Enterprise out.
Energize.
We're in a situation where everybody in the world uses technology. And if you're gonna buy some of that technology, you gotta understand certain things. Subscribe to Flossy Carter. He does reviews of all the latest technology. The iPhones, the iPads, the Galaxies, the Samsungs, whatever the fuck. The Beats by that doctor guy. And he puts his kitty cat in the videos too for you something to look at. You know, I'm an animal lover, so I like that shit. So make sure you hit the subscribe button to Flossy Carter on the YouTube, the follow button on the Instaface, and the like button on the Facelook. Because if you don't, we're gonna have a fucking problem here. A bad one. Now hit the fucking subscribe button.